Glutamate 2.0. You have 3 options to choose from and we'll all be showing our different points, but it's up to you which one you want to go with, which ideally is mine because it's the best, obviously.
So glutamate is probably best known as monosodium glutamate or MSG, which is the white crystalline salt often used for a flavor or taste enhancer in our food. But the product we are here to sell is glutamate and not the salt. That is the neurotransmitter glutamate. So in your brain, glutamate is the most abundant excitatory neurotransmitter, which means that it will excite you or stimulate the nerve cells, thus making it more likely to pass the chemical message from one nerve cell to the next. This is why glutamate is important for proper brain functioning.
Now, unlike other neurotransmitters, glutamate can bind up to 4 receptors. This allows the neurotransmitter to have a major presence and ability to stimulate and communicate with other neurons. Our product is involved in more than 90% of all excitatory functions in your brain. Not only this, but glutamate is also important for memory, learning capacity, mood stabilization, and overcoming effects of brain injury too.
It is actually involved in so many aspects of normal brain functioning that you can only imagine. Glutamate is also needed for making another neurotransmitter, which is known as the GABA. GABA is known as to be the calming neurotransmitter, which would help you in sleep, relaxation, anxiety regulation, and muscle function.
Glutamate is also an amino acid, which, as we know, are building blocks of protein. Normally, glutamate is found in abundant quantities in your body and is stored in the muscle tissues. But as we said, our products will give you additional benefits of better learning, memory, and cognition. So we're ready to give you everything from relaxation to excitement.
Guys, go along, okay?
If you're excited and you know it, clap your hands. If you're exhausted and you know it, clap your hands. If you're always very sleepy and your head feels kind of heavy, if you're exhausted and you know it, clap your hands. If you feel a little doozy, stop your feet. If you feel a little doozy, stop your feet. You should not eat a dawa, they put MSG in the khana. If you feel a little doozy, stop your feet. We are selling glutamate
For better concentration and faster, higher cognitive power, contact us.
Now that you've vibed with us, I'll tell them a little more about our product. So let me tell you the functions of our product. 1. Learning and memory. So by interacting with 4 different receptors, glutamate has more opportunities to continue to have messages successfully and quickly sent between nerve cells. This fast signaling in information processing is an important aspect of learning and memory. 2. Energy source for brain cells. Glutamate can be used as an energy source when glucose levels, which is the main source of energy, are low. 3. Chemical messenger. Glutamate allows chemical messages to be sent between nerve cells. The sleep-wake cycle manager. So according to animal studies, glutamate levels are high when you're awake and during the rapid eye movement, which is the REM phase of sleep. So for those who don't know, REM phase of sleep is when your brain activity is still, there's some kind of brain activity, and that's where your dreams are most intense because your brain is not completely shut. The exception is in the thalamus, where levels of glutamate are the highest during non-REM sleep. Pain signals. Higher levels of glutamate are associated with increase in pain levels.
Okay, enough of this jingle of yours. This isn't going to solve all the problems.
We have facts that can actually explain to you how glutamate works. We've even made a poster, so excuse me.
Okay, up till now we've learned that glutamate is an excitatory neurotransmitter. But what does this excitatory actually means? To begin with, in simple words, we can say that once glutamate is released, it excites and fires up the corresponding neuron. meaning the message continue to be passed along the next cell. When released from the presynaptic neuron, it can bind 4 different receptors, making it a very quick and essential neurotransmitter in the body. It is also, that's why we say it is also a master key, in contrast to the other neurotransmitters which only binds 1 to 2 receptors. The chemical message continues to move from one neuron to the other and it cannot be stopped. It is somewhat similar to turning on a switch that completes a circuit. So it is because of this mechanism of similar to turning on the switch, the rapid signals of acute pain can be sent to the brain in case you hurt yourself. So if you take the right amount of our product, your brain can function properly.
Another function of glutamate that we know is learning and memory. So every time you want to store a new memory, obviously the brain will not make new neurons. Rather, what it will do is it will form associations. These associations are basically called synaptic plasticity, and specifically we'll be looking at long-term potentiation. So what does it basically mean? It means that the signal between 2 neurons will be strengthened or weakened over time. It's a very simple procedure. We just need to look at this. So the presynaptic neuron is activated and it will release glutamate. On the postsynaptic neuron, you have 2 gates. Of course, you have like a lot of gates, but we'll be looking at the 2 gates. One is AMPA, which is the green one, and the other one is the red one, which is NMDA. The glutamate will go and bind to these 2 receptors until form ligands. Now, in order to open the red gate, there needs to be a specific ionic, I can say, concentration. So the green gate opens and there is an influx of sodium and potassium ions. Once the green gate opens, the red gate will open and there will be an influx of calcium ions. These calcium ions will stimulate the formation of more green gates. Why is that important? The more the number of green gates, the faster the transmission of glutamate through the entire nuclear circuit. The more the number of green receptors, the better the signal between 2 neurons. Which is how next time you want to learn something, you need to remember something new, your glutamate will release these, your neurons will release glutamate and move in a faster manner.
Okay, fine. We understand that this is how glutamate works, but what about the added benefits that our company's glutamate